Shit, are we
And
live?
we're live. Yeah, we are
Oh,
live.
fuck.
Oh, yeah. It has been
It's
way too long.
been
It's
a
been
while, y'all.
hell.
Hello. Welcome to
Every single
season.
time. Are we live? Yep. And the first word out of someone's mouth is a cuss. I love it. I love it.
Wait, fuck?
Yes, fuck is a cuss word. Last I checked.
Oh, we're trying our best, you know?
We're trying our best, but hello. Welcome, everybody, to season 1.5 of the Itty Bitty Kitty Committee. You might be wondering, why not season 2? Well, one of our members has had an unfortunate circumstance and cannot be here. So it is the. Oh no, I need words that alliterate with three. The terrific three. Um, it's us. And so, how about for anyone new tuning in, let's go around and introduce ourselves. Please say your name, your pronouns, and what is, if you were a craft supply, what craft supply would you be and why? I can go first since I posed the question. Hello, my name is Comprehensible, he, him pronouns. I am the illustrious game master of this wonderful coven. And if I was a craft supply, I would be yarn. It is soft, it is fluffy, you can make it into many things like sweaters. It's fantastic. Who wants to go next?
Hi, I'm Ace. I use three kinds of pronouns. They, them, fey, fair, fairs, and lou, lum, loose. Um, if I were a craft supply, I would be paint, I guess, because I'm colorful and I get everywhere. I mean, uh, I'm good.
That's a little morbid
What?
for my.
Yeah.
Why is
Uh,
that morbid? What?
no, you're like glitter. You're good on everything. And like,
Oh, glitter. Glitter's the
yeah,
word I was looking for. Yeah.
glitter gets on everything and
I
you can't
love
wash it away.
glitter.
It's just a part of you for the rest of your life now. That's a good thing.
You're stuck with me now, bitches.
I'm Rowan. She, her, whatever. I put the whatever in there for all of my fellow Gonzo lovers. Um, I play Helen, and if I was a craft supply, I would have to be E6000 because
Oh.
E6000 is the most useful craft supply I have ever had. It sticks anything to anything, like leather to shiny plastic level of anything to anything. So I love E6000. It's my favorite, so I'm going to have to claim that as mine.
Mhm. Oh, I play Harry, by the way.
Oh, yes, we should go through character name, pronouns. What type of witch are you? And maybe give us like a little overview of the vibes, the aesthetic.
Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. So I play Harry Mycena. Harry Mycena is a I can't remember the name of the class right now.
Baba.
It's a Baba. It's a Baba, yep. I need to pull up my sheet. Um, I should have done that earlier. Oh, I'm hearing myself through somebody. Um, yeah, but Harry is a mushroom person. Um, and uses they them and fey fair pronouns. Um, they have a sparrow, possum, griffin familiar. And so a lot of their magic is very based in the underworld, and they like use for their casting, they reach into the underworld and like play with their mycelium and gather energy and information from that. and that's how it goes.
Nice. Um, yeah. Would you like to go, Helen?
So I am a human. I am a Median is human, right? And I'm an arcanist. I want to build all the things, um, all the stuff, all the time. Uh, Helen is more of a mad scientist witch. She's all about coulda, not about shoulda. Um, and her magic is all very much about artifacts and crafts, which is why it made me smile when you asked what craft supply, because I can guarantee you that Helen uses way too many things from the craft store in making things that should not involve stuff from the craft store, like the animatronic body of spirit creature that kind of looks like Gur. So, yeah.
Sweet. All right. Helen, and Heri, you find yourself once again on the familiar shores of Rara Avis, an island nation of witches and people who choose to live outside for some reason or another, the authority of the mainland. Um, and you find yourself not just on Rara Avis, on the beautiful white sanded shores, or the mountain with the forest on the center. You find yourself at the beautiful sort of Art Nouveau um, plant, sort of built out of plants house of Sheva, the leader of Rara Avis. And you remember Shiva as a sort of soft spoken Gorgon with very long boa constrictor hair um, that she occasionally feeds. Um, Little critters, you gotta do what you have to do to survive. Shiva uses she, they pronouns. Um, Alrighty. Um, and Shiva is at her desk. She seems deep in thought. She has summoned you here today, actually, to speak to her. She says she has something for you to do. But right now she's sort of forehead resting on her hands, eyes closed. She looks like she's thinking about something.
To be honest, people don't usually call us for help when they need something easy. So I'm going to give her her time to get to whatever cluster F that we're getting thrown out this time.
Well, I'm not sure she's noticed you've entered the room. She's very deep in thought.
A polite throat
I
clear
think
might
Harry
be.
is gonna be like, uh, Sh Shiva, do you want us to come back later?
And she sort of like and sees the two of you, and she's like, "Oh, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize you'd come. No, come in, come in. Fuck. I knocked my book over. Come in, come in. Um, have a seat. Mm, yes, that's why I called you here for today. You know the dance coming up?
What dance?
There's a dance.
Yes, there's a dance coming up. And we're going to have music from people around here. There's going to be lots of dancing and lots of food. It's a great time to get together and meet people. Um, but as we were having this dance, there's also a traitor. Um, Someone within our midst that I don't believe has the goodwill of this community in mind. And what I need to ask of you is, I think, quite well suited for you. I know who the traitor is, and I am working to isolate them on the night of this dance. However, I need someone, two people, in fact, to be a distraction, to make the biggest, most eye catching, showiest thing you can possibly put on, and just keep everyone focused on you for the night.
Well,
I
I
know
think
you.
you've come to the right people.
Oh, fantastic.
Because if you want a distraction or anything not, subtle at all, then you've come to the right place.
Well, it's good to know I have the right people on my side.
How big do you want the explosion? Do you want it to take out any part of the island, or just you want to, like, in the air explode? Like, how big are we talking here?
Please
How
don't
many
destroy
animated
anything
corpses do
important.
you want?
What, Harry?
How many reanimated corpses?
Please don't explode things. Please don't cause mass panic on my island. Is there any other
Little
suggestions I have
dancing
to?
skeletons. Like,
Yeah,
let's
dancing
tease them
skeletons are
stuff.
kind of cool. They were like in that one movie made by Disney, right?
Yeah.
I will take dancing skeletons as long as you are showing proper respect to the deceased who they belong to.
I'm saying like squirrels and raccoons and possums.
That could be interesting.
Maybe some bluebirds.
It might be a little frightening to some people, Harry.
Why?
Well, a lot of people are afraid of dying, and seeing skeletons happens to remind them of dying.
Everybody dies. What's there to be afraid of?
Well, everyone dies, and perhaps that's what they're afraid of. The inevitability of it, the fact that we don't know what happens when you pass on.
Well, I do.
Well, yes, you do, but not everybody is um, um, mushroom. Sorry.
Well, it's yes.
Do you even
It is
have bones?
No.
it is a very good idea, Harry, but perhaps some beautiful multicolored mushrooms or you're always so good with the mycelium, perhaps you could think of something with that.
Um, and where do you want this distraction to be so that people aren't looking the direction you don't want them to look?
Oh, the dance will be taking place in the main square, so preferably keeping people confined to and looking at that area would be
So
much appreciated.
keeping people in the main square confined to. Gotcha.
Uh,
I don't think I want to know
Helen,
what
what
you're
are you
thinking.
thinking?
I have to think about it. Give me a minute.
Okay. Okay. I was thinking it might be cool. Is there anybody who's like really good at singing?
Ooh, do you know anyone who's really good at singing, Harry?
Well, the child is very bad at recorder. Does that count?
You could put out a recorder performance if you wanted.
No, we want to keep people in the square. We don't want them to leave the square.
Why would they leave the square? The child is adorable.
Yes, that is true. Okay, so we know our assignment. We will go and figure it out, and we will come back to you and give you our idea before the party. When is this dance thingy happening?
Oh, it's in 2 or 3 days. 2 days.
We've got 2 days, so we'll come back to you sometime tomorrow and give you our ideas.
That would be wonderful. Thank you.
So, um, Harry and I are going to exit stage left and sit.
And I think as you do, you see her, she reaches under her desk and pulls out a flask of something and takes a long drink and then puts it back under her desk.
You got to be on something if you're
That,
asking us for help. So,
yeah, that's most people's response to having to ask us for something.
especially without the most sane of the three to keep us in line.
Claudia really shouldn't have called out today.
All right, so I'm going to pull Harry aside to some place where we can be consuming caffeinated beverages.
Oh,
And
do you want to go to Rose's place?
that'd be great. We can get Rose involved.
Yeah, and you take the trek over to Rose, who is Harry's girlfriend. She's big and buff. Um,
And has a tattoo.
and has a tattoo. You head over to her little place, in Rara Avis. Harry, could you describe her place a little for us, please?
So I think it's it's like a decently sized cottage. It's got like a couple of bedrooms coming off of it. Um, and there's like plants and mushrooms growing all up the sides of it, and it's got like a sod roof, with more flowers and like mushrooms growing out of that. And it's like under the overhang of like a couple of big oak trees. So it's like really shady and nice, and there's like a nice breeze swooshing through, and it's like um kind of on a hilltop, so then like when it rains, it doesn't get wet in there really. Instead the water just like sloughs off and it's not around us anymore. Um so yeah.
Nice.
And then when we open the door, there's like some nice quilts and stuff, and it smells like cookies because Harry was in there earlier baking cookies. So yeah.
Yeah, so you see Rose. She's sitting at the dining room table. I think she's wearing like athletic shorts, and a sports bra, and she's currently, looks like she came back from a workout. But she's writing a letter right now. And she's really beautiful handwriting. Like she's writing with some sort of quill. And it's like beautiful cursive. And she looks up and she's like, "Oh, Harry, hello."
So how you doing?
Good. And she comes up and she goes to give you a hug and then realizes she's really sweaty and gross and she sort of pauses. And Harry, you get a big old sweaty hug.
You two are so
Perfect.
cute.
And she pulls away and she's like, "What brings you here?"
So we just heard about the dance, and
We got asked to provide some entertainment. So
yes.
we're trying to think of what kind of entertainment we can provide without exploding anything or raising anything from the dead.
Yeah, she said I wasn't allowed to have dancing skeletons.
Which is just
But
a shame, really.
Seems like a prudent decision. Um, come in. Oh gosh. Um, and she invites you all into the table and starts. Does Harry and Helen tea or coffee? I think she knows your preferences by now.
she actually hands Helen a cup of jasmine green tea because we've been trying that for
Helen looks at it going, "It's this tea water again. Leaf water. Nah, I'll drink it anyway."
and it's got like honey mixed in or something. Um
Yeah, they're trying to break me of my caffeine addiction.
yeah. And then Harry pulls some cold brew out of the fridge.
Nice. And the camera pans above the table as we see them scheming. Um, Over coffee and tea and Rose's increasingly worried gaze. What are you guys? Let's do a little planning montage. What are you guys thinking about?
So I think Harry was thinking about like fast growing some mushrooms like all around the square, both as decorations and as like um to make like miniature stages for everybody providing music entertainment. So like pedestals for people to stand on, with like little mushrooms like going up in like graduated sizes towards it so that like, they can get down again and stuff. Um and then like bioluminescent mushrooms will like pop out of everywhere. Um and just a whole lot of mushrooms everywhere because they were told that they weren't allowed to do any skeletons, which is very rude.
Incredible. I think that's really quite easy enough for you,
Are
a
they going to
witch of your
be the
disposition.
bioluminescent style?
What?
Are they going to be the bioluminescent style mushrooms, the kind that glow?
Some of them will be.
Okay. I know they said that I wasn't allowed to blow anything up, which is very disappointing. Um, but I was wondering if maybe I could like build some kind of fireworks or pyrotechnics display. Um, if Harry's going to be making some stages, then I should figure out some way to make something that makes the stages keep people's attention, like a light display or something.
All
Fire,
right.
mostly likely fire.
I think I'm gonna ask for a roll for the pyrotechnics because this is potentially dangerous. This takes a little bit of skill and finesse to get quite right.
It's basic chemistry, but yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Well, there's also like
I
the
help her with
placement
that.
of it, direction. You know,
Can I get assistance from anybody?
Yeah, can I help with
ooh. Well, I think Harry, you're busy with the stage while Helen sang this up. I'm sort of interested in what NPC Helen would ask. Is that okay?
that? That works.
Okay.
There's the other arcanist that lives in town.
There
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
yeah, so it's just Dragor,
Radish
right?
Man.
Big,
Drag the radish
muscular
man.
radish man.
The dude who's a radish, right?
A radish
So
guy.
I'm going to go up to Radish Guy and say, hey, I've been assigned the task of making some entertainment for the dance, and I was thinking pyrotechnics. So, what do you think about setting some things on fire?
Oh, of course, Helen, I love setting things on fire.
I know,
Um,
me too!
in fact, and he lifts up his arm and there's a little nick off the radish and he's like, "This was from the great burn of 82."
Oh my goodness. I'm going to hear the story of that later, I hope.
Of course. But of course you need to be safe with pyrotechnics.
Always got to be safe. So I was thinking my chemistry textbooks are probably not going to be sufficient for this. Um, I might need to be doing a bit more research to make sure that I don't accidentally hurt anybody permanently. So, and I know you have a research library and you have some experience in this area. So, do you mind if we collab?
Of course, anything to help with the dance. And so when you roll, you're gonna get extra dice for collaborating with Dragor.
Sweet. So, I'm assuming this is going to be a craft.
This is going to be a craft. I think you are in the controlled position. You have help and you have time. And the effect's gonna be standard, I think, you know?
Standard blowing things up. So, I have at
Standard
least
blowing things up.
two
You
dice for my craft, and
And then you
one
have one for
additional
Dragor.
for Dragor. Do you feel I would have any other dice?
Not that I can think of unless you like to push yourself or ask for a Fey bargain.
No, I know better than to bargain with the Fae right now. They're angry at us. Alrighty, let's see what we get.
child
A
man.
6, a 5, and a 4.
Ooh, six.
Chef's kiss.
Perfect. That is a full success. So you set them up, you know, they're very nice fireworks. You know, Dragger's got a bunch of weird shit in his lab, and he was happy to help you in mixing these strange, wonderful firework concoctions.
So much
And you set them
magnesium.
up where you know it's going to be downwind. Like, you've got a good feeling about this shit. Harry, what were you trying to ask?
So um where is the child here or on that float thing?
I believe the child is on Aurora Avis right now. And what have they been doing? What are they up to? I
They
think
were
they like to,
created after the float, so they were not on the float.
yeah. Um, and I think the child likes to spend their days at the beach. They really like the ocean. They like collecting shells and walking along the beach.
Have they
And there's
added any
lifeguards
shells to
there.
their carapace?
Oh, yeah, maybe they have like a very pretty bit of like mother of pearl that they found.
Oh.
Awesome.
So I think Harry is gonna go down to the beach and is gonna ask them if they want to join in on like decorating for the dance and see if like they can do the same thing that um Luke Faye can with the whole like growing parts of their body and whatnot. Just like seeing how the flesh works on them and seeing if
And
like they
so
can grow mushrooms out of the ground and stuff too.
they look up, they're like, "Oh, you want me to help? I'd love to."
Ugh.
All right, and you guys head up to the square. What do you want the child to do? Could you tell them about that?
So I think that Harry is gonna start by being like, okay, so this is how I grow bioluminescent mushrooms. Do you want to try it? Because like we gotta put a million of these up, and like if you can do those, then I can focus on the big main structures and making sure that they can actually hold people.
Okay. And so you sort of make a mushroom. What does that look like?
So I think it's like reaches down and grabs a bit of dirt, and then reaches into the underworld and like twines a bit of mycelium around it, and then just like holds it in between their hands for a little bit, and then it just like pops out, and it's like a bioluminescent mushroom now.
And the child sort of reaches down into the dirt, just like you did, Harry. Um, Takes a bit of it, holds it up, and is sort of looking at it. Um, and what grows out of their hand isn't a mushroom. It's sort of weird and strange and spiky and a little gross. It's not glowing. Um, and they look sort of really disappointed in it.
Well, I love it. I don't know that it's necessarily going to work for these decorations, but uh, I definitely have a place for this in my kitchen. And like takes and puts it in a little box.
It's really
Can I take
ugly.
it?
Why couldn't I make a mushroom like you?
Well, you're not made the same way that I am, and that's okay.
What are you made of?
I I'm all mushroom. You are a composite of a bunch of different things, and all of those things work together to make you, which is lovely, and I love you so much. But we're not gonna have the same strengths, and we're not gonna have the same powers because we're not made out of the same things.
And actually, Harry, as you like take it out of their hands to put in the box, as soon as you touch it, you just get an extremely vivid feeling of apples. Just an extremely, you can almost feel the apple in your mind, the taste of it, the smell of it.
And touch this.
And they do, and it feels like what Rose gave me. Last Sunday, she gave me something weird, and I tried it, and it was good. She said it was called apples.
Ah, so cool. I can't do anything like this.
It's cool.
Yeah. And
Oh,
I think like the proud parent that Harry very much is at this point, Harry calls over Helen and is like, "Oh my God, Helen, touch this. See what it makes you feel."
1 second. I need to make sure this doesn't explode before it's supposed to explode.
Okay.
Okay, all right. I finished. I button up the thing I was working on and I run over. I'm like, "Hi, child. Have you chosen a name yet? Ooh, what's this thing? It's spiky." And I go and I touch it.
yeah, you just apples, all the way down.
Wow, that's more intense than the body butter I used to use in high school. Wow, flavor. That's got residual flavor. That's cool.
And I don't think the child is understanding anything of what you're saying, Helen, but as you see them, a sort of smile grows on their face. It's a little lopsided, they're still sort of learning, but you recognize it.
I think that Harry will continue. Will just take and put the thing in the box and be like, every time I touch this, I'm going to think of you and how much I love you.
And apples,
Um,
because you're
and
not going to have a choice on
puts it
that
in
part.
their bag very carefully.
Thank, thank you.
Yeah. Do you want to make more feeling things?
That
We
was
could
super
we
cool,
could
kiddo.
have that be something. We could have that be something that people can like interact with during the dance if they don't want to dance or drink.
Oh,
Another
Yeah.
form of entertainment. That would be really cool.
and I think maybe you spend the next, like, hour or so with the child making little feelings to scatter around?
Yeah.
You could make a
And I'm
scavenger
like
hunt
also
of
growing like
feelings.
a bunch of like bioluminescent mushrooms at the same time. And they're just like wandering around and like enjoying their time together and just making beautiful things.
All right, and the sun sets, the sun rises, is the dawn of the second day. Um, one day remains. No, the moon's gonna follow us all. Um,
Oh,
no. And as you wake up, as you come back in the morning, Rar Avis is sort of abuzz with activity. You can see people putting banners up in the square. There's just a giant double bass sitting there in the main square, waiting for someone to come play it.
As there should be.
It's like bigger than a normal double bass, which is like insane. You know how big those things are.
that
Those are
is
those are
truly
big boys.
insane.
And you can smell like food wafting from the houses as people are cooking meals to bring. You got fireworks, you got some funky ass bioluminescent mushrooms, which I think people are sort of admiring as they walk through the square. You got a few more hours. Is there anything else you'd like to prepare?
I'm gonna pull Harry
I think
aside.
Harry's gonna build the like structures for people to like um do music and stuff from.
Yeah, I think those are you were building all day yesterday, so I think that's reasonably built.
Yeah. So just like reinforcing them, making sure that they can really hold weight and stuff, and that they're like knocks aside and goes, "Yep, that'll do."
Harry's plumber
Watch
voice.
character person.
While Harry's pulling the part of a plumber, I'm gonna wander over and say, Harry. So I had another thought.
Uh-huh.
Our job is to keep people in the square, right?
Yes.
So how about when everyone get in here, we put up something that keeps them in the square?
Helen, I don't think that's what we're supposed to do.
How about just like a barrier, not a barrier, but like a
Helen, did you
line
do
of
it already?
something that makes them like if they think about crossing it, like there's a part of them that goes, "Nah, I don't wanna," and they just turn around and come back inside.
So Helen, are you asking if this would be a good idea, or are you saying that you've already done this?
I usually am the kind of person who asks for forgiveness, not permission. This is an accurate question on your part. I've been trying to figure out how to do this by myself all night and haven't succeeded yet. So I was wondering if you had any ideas on how to make it more of a suggestion as opposed to a, you know, command. Like a do not cross line. You know, a line in the sand that people just don't want to cross.
And I think Harry like looks around because they know they're not supposed to go along with this. To make sure that Rose does not overhear this.
Rose is back at home. She's making something for the potluck. It's a surprise.
And goes, I wonder if the child could help us with something along those lines. Especially with those cool things that they've been making yesterday.
Yes.
We'll ask. Oh, wait, can we ask them? I feel like that's not. Rose might be mad if I teach them something bad. Oh, that'd
Whether
be
or
so
not it's
cool.
bad is completely dependent on your ethical standpoint. So I think we could be able to get around this without too much difficulty.
I don't think Shiva would be happy with us if we did that, though.
It's not going to be a permanent spell. It's just going to be a I don't feel like crossing this line spell.
Okay, but like, have you considered how that will interact with the magic of Rara Avis?
Or the other people
Like
here
the
in general.
island itself.
Yeah, see, I hadn't gotten that far. So my first thought
Like,
was to put some kind of shrink or death ray up so that if someone tried to exit, it would just shoot them. And then I thought that I should give them a chance to turn around of their own before they got shrunk or shot. So, Harry, are you okay?
are you really gonna make me be the voice of reason here?
Well, okay, I don't have a functional death ray yet, or a shrink ray, but give me time.
Jay's
So,
not here. She told me to make sure you didn't get into any crazy trouble, and I feel like this is gonna get you into crazy trouble.
I I need to confess that I don't think I slept last night and I had 3 espressos.
What is, I thought we were talking about coffee, and
I know I'm not allowed to have them, but at the same time, I also haven't been taking my meds as well as I should. And I'm just feeling the need
oh, Jane.
to make some things. And I was thinking like some kind of barrier might be nice, like some like insta fence. Could we make an insta fence?
And no,
No?
no, I've put a lot of effort in the past couple days into building things. I can't really build anything
Oh, that's
else.
right. You have been building a lot with your
Yeah,
mycelium
yeah.
stuff.
Please don't, please don't.
Okay.
Um,
Um, all right, so here's my other idea.
why don't you drink some water?
Hydrate.
Have you eaten today?
What?
Have you eaten today?
Does coffee cake or chocolate chip cookies count?
No. How about here? I'll fry you up some eggs. And here, have some water. Here's your meds.
Fine. Okay, so my other idea is I can stand on the outside, like at the back, where other people are not supposed to be going. And if people try to wander off the way that they're not supposed to go, I can use my greater telekinesis to kind of make it hard for them to exit.
I,
That way, it's not like a permanent spell. It's not going to interfere with the place at all. Um, and I won't accidentally be flipping a car and breaking anyone's leg or anything, which I still feel really bad about. Um, yeah. Thoughts?
feel like it feels really weird for me to be the voice of reason.
I understand.
Um, this feels very strange.
I figured that since it's not something that you usually do, you would be the best person to ask for. Because if you felt very much no, this was a bad idea, then it totally would be a bad idea.
Uh-huh.
But if you were waffling, then I had like a 50-50 shot of whether or not it's a bad idea. And if you were
Uh-huh.
like
Uh-huh.
totally
So we're
cool,
saying
then,
it's a
I'm
bad
good.
idea.
We're staying with a bad idea?
We're saying it's a bad idea. I don't think Rose would be proud of me if I had anything to do with this, and I really like when Rose is proud of me, because then she hugs me, and it's very good.
You two are cute together. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I will just stick to blowing things up then.
Only the fireworks.
Only yes, good point. Only the fireworks. I'm only blowing up fireworks.
Only fireworks.
Only fireworks
Good.
this
Yes.
time.
All right.
This
Do we
time.
want to do anything else or fast forward to the party?
We can fast forward to the party, I think.
Alrighty.
I,
And
You
the
okay,
sun
Harry?
goes.
Rowan, your shirt is perfect today. It fits
Hell
the vibe very
yeah!
well.
Knife cat, knife cat, knife cat.
Knife cat, knife cat, knife cat.
I am consistently cute but psycho.
Yeah, it's what we love about you.
All right, and the sun goes down in a glorious sunset. It's a beautiful night. And Harry's luminescent mushrooms light up the night as we see people stream into the main square. Um, Dishes are piled high on a long table of every type. You got a big old bowl of japchae, a thing of brownies, um, some jollof rice. There's just everything. And it's all, well, mostly, except for Rose's sort of halfway burnt batch of cookies, really good. But she tried her best.
Try her best. Um,
She was
and
trying to
and
show
and
off some of the.
Harry
Sorry, go ahead.
Harry does pull a bag of cookies out of one of their pockets and like pour it onto the plates and like cover up some of the burnt ones and just be like but like kind of behind Rose's back a little bit. But yeah.
Ooh, let me roll to see if Rose notices. She's pretty observant. I'm gonna give her 2 dice.
Can I roll to like hide it from her?
Well, the thing is, you could hide the action from her, which I'm assuming you can, but if she
Uh-huh.
notices the cookies on the plate are not her cookies, because that's gonna
Uh-huh.
stay through the
Okay.
whole night.
Well, Harry's cookies tend to go pretty fast.
Okay, true. I'll give her 1 dice.
Okay, okay.
Uh, okay, and she does not notice. All she notices is people taking cookies from that plate, and she's very proud of herself. Um, I think she sort of, yeah, she remarks on it to you, Harry. Um, but you
So
see the
great, darling.
musicians sort of coming up to the stage, and they start a very fast reel. There's the double bassist who is an enormous squatch playing an equally
Hell
enormous
yeah.
double bass. There's a
So good.
violinist, there's a pianist. It's great. They're really good. But
Yeah.
let me roll for starting the score. So you get 1 dice for luck.
Uh-huh.
Um, 1 dice for good setup.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you guys have got friends here, so I'm gonna give you another dice.
Yeah.
Um,
We did a lot of prep work. I'm proud of us.
yep, you got 1 dice for that. Good work.
Would
Is there
my
any?
support system help this at all?
Oh, I gave you a
Because at
dice
least.
for your friends being here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, so I think you're gonna start with 3 dice. That's a pretty good starting.
I think that's the best we've had so far.
And you are going to start at 5. I got a 5, which is risky. So let me describe the opening situation. Um, So I think it's been maybe 30 minutes since the party has started. Everyone's having a good time. The night's young, energy's high. And you guys, like, you haven't really had to work at all to, like, keep this people here. Um, but then in the distance, you hear a faint rumbling, and the ground shakes a little, and everyone starts sort of looking around. If and I'm gonna start maybe a 4 o'clock called crowd gets scared. Um, how are you guys gonna work against
Uh-huh.
this?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I think that Harry um pulls some like homemade candy out of another random uh pocket in their jacket and like they're all like wrapped up in a little bit of like wax paper, and they like throw the candy out into the crowd and go, "Free candy, everybody!"
This
Okay.
is how Harry deals with problems. Throw calories at it.
What sort of role do you think this is, Harry? I'm thinking maybe consort.
No.
Your position is.
Um.
Sorry, go ahead.
Uh. So I think. Um. Anything is equally as good.
Okay.
In everything.
Nice. Yeah, let's go for consort. Your position is risky.
Uh-huh.
I think your
Uh-huh.
effect is. Would this be standard or limited? I think this is standard. You're
Uh-huh.
creating a new, equally big distraction.
Would I get my +1 consort here or no?
For your sport network?
Yeah.
Um, are they helping you in any way? Can you tell me how your sport network like
I
sees it?
think Harry has Rose throwing out candy too.
All right, you get that dice, yeah.
Hell yeah. So that's 2 dice already. And I think I'm gonna push myself for another die.
Nice.
Yeah.
Especially good candy. Like homemade shit.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
bomb.
All
I was
right,
just
give it a roll. Sorry, Helen, go ahead.
I was just going to tell the people around me, wow, those subwoofers are really doing a good job. I can feel the rumble. Can't you feel the rumble?
Harry, could you give
I
us a
used
roll?
I used Google Dice and I got 2 1s and a 2.
Oof.
I suggest
So
we not
Harry.
use Google Dice in the future.
Yeah. So Harry, you sort of throw the. Okay, so I'm going to tick up the crowd gets scared clock by 2, so it's halfway full. As Harry, you're like,
Okay.
free candy! And you throw stuff into the crowd. But it does not work. I think the rumbling's getting more intense now. And people are sort of glancing around like, what's going on? You see Fleur de Lis, the doctor. Um, she's sort of, or there, I'm sorry. They're sort of over by the table the food table trying to stabilize it.
Did someone say it's fireworks time? Because I think it might be fireworks time.
All right.
I'm like nodding off to Radish Dude that yes, it's time to start the fireworks experience. Because but I don't remember how he and I had this set up. So do we have to like actually physically light it with like matches, or I'm assuming there's some kind of trigger somewhere that we hit?
You're the pyrotechnics gal. You tell me.
There would be some kind of trigger we have to hit. So I'm going to I don't want to do the part where I go on stage and say, "Hey everybody, the fireworks show is about to start," because
Who do
being
you
a
recruit to
friend.
do it then?
Who's the tallest, loudest person I know?
Probably Dragor.
Hey Dragor, can you do me a favor?
Yeah, Helen. What do you need?
I just need you to go on stage and yell at everyone that the fireworks is about to start.
And he clambers up onto the mushroom stage. The musicians have gone silent by this point.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, everyone, listen up. The fireworks show is about to begin, so sit up, pay attention. 'Cause 3, 2, 1, let's go!
I totally hit the button. The
And
sparkly
there's.
bits and the big boomers that make the people go, ooh, ah.
Ooh, wow.
And you already got a really good roll for setting this up. Um, so I'm gonna get rid of that crowd gets scared clock. I'm just gonna count this as a success. As everyone is watching the fireworks, and the little ground rumblies, that's just the boom from the fireworks, you know?
That can be a big boom. Yeah.
Yeah, so you've dealt with that part of it. And the rumbling, by the time the fireworks are gone, they've stopped. The band strikes it back up, and everyone gets back to partying. And stuff gets is pretty smooth until I think maybe 2 or 3 hours later, when you see some people on the edges. They're starting to get a little tired. They're starting to get a little sleepy. Maybe they're thinking of heading home. Actually, a
Yeah,
few of them are sort of starting to leave.
so I
Um,
think that's I think that's when Harry is like, "Oh, guys, we've got this great scavenger hunt that me and the child put together, um, where you try and find all of the feelings that they've hidden around the place." And then pulls out the little one that was in the box, and it's like they look kind of like this. You're gonna find them, and when you touch them, you're gonna feel something. And then like this one, if you touch it, it's apples. And then you write it down on a piece of paper, and passes out like sheets of paper
And
that
the
have
first
like
one to
the
get
number
like
of
all of
clues.
the numbered clues ones done
Yeah,
gets, cookies.
I'll bake them a really good cake.
Everyone
Um,
wants
um,
Harry's baking, so.
a custom cake. But yeah.
Yeah, and Margaret, the new Baba on the island, she's like, "Oh, I love cake." And she takes the scavenger hunt and she begins enthusiastically leading people along, helping them find and you hear like little cries like, "I found one. This smells like lemons."
I
Um or
found banana!
whoa, this one's sort of like the beach. Just popping up from all around as more and more people start hunting. Just out of curiosity, where was the weirdest place you hid one?
I think there's one hidden like um up like underneath the underneath the drain pipe by the like main uh Art Nouveau building. And so it's like jammed up underneath the drain pipe a little bit.
Oh, incredible. Yeah, and Shiva's office.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and so you hear a call from Shiva's office like, "What's this doing under the drain pipe?" Yeah, and I
How does the
think I
child
think
feel about all these people enjoying the thing that they created?
the child I think is just sort of watching this like wide-eyed, like clinging onto Harry's hand. Um, and they look up and they're like, "Those people are really happy, right?"
Yeah. And I think Harry picks them up and puts them on their shoulders and is like, "Look at the stars." And just passes them a little bit of a wave of like the amazement that Harry gets every single time that he gets that they get out of city, and and like just being able to see the night sky properly for the first time in a really long time. Um, so yeah.
And the child sort of wide-eyed, like stares up at the stars, and they point to a constellation. They're like, "What's that one called?"
That's the Big Dipper.
That's the Big Dip. And what's that one?
That one is Orion's belt.
Those are the only two I can pick out of the sky. If you want any more than that.
Same.
But
Well,
yeah,
where
you
did they
should know
call
that
that?
they're happy. It's a feeling, and you can feel feelings, right? You can feel other people's feelings, so you should be able to feel how good they feel.
Oh, I need to be touching them for that.
Mm.
But they have smiles, right? And smiles are
Mhm.
happy.
Yeah, smiles are happy.
Yep, and that laughing sound, that's usually a happy.
Also, like when the voices get like a little bit higher in their like body, and it sounds like they're about to laugh when they're talking. That's how you know they're happy too.
Oh, thank you.
Anytime.
And do you think this is a good place to call an end to our score?
So
Nice.
as
As
long as we get all the
eventually,
distraction we needed to.
yeah,
Were we
plenty
appropriately distractible?
distraction, no blowing stuff up, no morally dubious magic. I'm very proud of. Actually, I think the next morning you go into Sheva's office and she says to you, "Good work. I'm genuinely surprised. There were no explosions." Well, no,
Well,
not
Yes, there were.
the
I made
negative
fireworks.
type.
Okay.
Thank you. We've caught our traitor. Rara Avis is in your debt.
Glad to be of
And
service.
here. And she reaches into her desk, and I think she takes out a flask of a very clear, sort of shimmery, opalescent liquid. And she sort of holds it out to you too. And she's like, "It isn't much, but a token of my thanks."
What is it?
It's moon water. It's very hard to distill, but it has resonance with the moon. It is good for curing diseases and wounds and ailments.
Ooh. I wonder what we can make with this.
We're like, I want to bake this into cookies. Uh,
I know, we're both
because
instantly thinking, how do we use this to its best abilities? But in our own special ways.
Cool.
Sweet.
Do we want to draw down the moon and do downtime, or do we want to, yeah.
I don't know if we need to draw down the moon. Neither of us used any essence. It was all just
I
willpower.
Oh,
used
true.
willpower.
Oh, you did use some willpower.
Yeah.
Well, if you draw down the moon, you'll regain probably all of that because you didn't spend that much. But I will do a faction down. Oh, well, I'm like 2 sessions overdue for a faction downtime, so I'm just gonna do it anyways. Oop. So you
Okay.
might as well draw down the moon.
I was having trouble with my push to talk, so got that fixed. I think I got that fixed.
Nice. Which of you wants to draw down the moon?
Since we're at Rah Rah Avis, I would assume it would be Harry, but if you want me to do it, I can do it.
Do it. Yeah, cuz yeah, Harry's way of drawing down the moon is more like portable.
Yeah, mine isn't very portable.
So what do you do, Harry?
Really isn't. So I think Harry this time takes like a bunch of leftovers from the feast, that would like all work together and like chucks them together in a pot for like next day stew. And like
Next day
mixes it
stew.
up with like a bunch. Um, next day stew is the best stew. Um, and makes like a really good soup with it, and then like sits down with the child and Rose and Helen, and they all just like sit and have a nice little meal together and like enjoy the time that they get to spend like being friends and stuff.
Nice. Yeah. Um. All right. So I think
Since
as the
Rose is
lower
a
of your,
witch, does she get the benefits of the draw down the moon, or does she not because she's not a member of the coven?
you have to be a member of the coven to draw down the moon with you, but it is damn good soup. So
It is good soup either way. Yeah.
sweet. All right. So roll the lower of your insight and resolve.
I think it's for
All right.
everywhere.
So I think you get. I'm going off memory, so this might not be totally correct. I think you get two of whatever you call essence, 2 essence and 3 willpower.
Oh no, it's four dice.
Yeah. Oh shit. I'm so. I thought you rolled a 4.
No, I rolled a 5.
Oh, no, well, that's still the same. 2 essence, 3 willpower.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's
Cool.
factoring in your sleep bonus.
Yes.
Your
Because
little
of
bitty
course we'd get
kitty.
good rest before these. It'd be very silly otherwise.
It would be very silly.
I'm assuming there was also a very much sleep in after the event because we stayed up way too late.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. 100%.
I can see like Helen on the couch of Rose's place. The
Oh
kitties
yeah,
are a little
laying on her
pull-out bed.
stomach with like one leg hanging off the
Or like
side.
just in Combi's room, which is right now like a guest bedroom, because Combi's not there.
Yeah.
Because the child would have gotten their own room. But yeah.
Yeah, that's who Rose was writing to earlier, Combi.
Yeah, I was sure. And then I think when Harry leaves, I think Harry offers to take the letter to Combi for her.
Oh, that would be much appreciated. Thank you.
Do we
I
need to
miss
take
him.
a shift watching the child? Because it's totally not cool for us to just dump them off on your girlfriend.
Well, so Rose and Rose and Harry had sat down with the child at one point, and they talked it out, all three of them together, and they brought the choice up to the child, and the child chose to stay with Rose instead of with Harry because they didn't want to live in the city.
I also will mention that Rora Avis sort of has like a it takes a village to raise a child mentality. So Rose
Yeah,
isn't the one watching after the child all the time, you know. The child sort of
yeah,
flops around.
Okay.
yeah, and especially with the child literally being the only child on Rara Avis right now because all the rest of them are over on the float of
The
which is
exiled.
Everyone
over there,
else's
the
motherly
exiled, yeah.
instincts is going all over this poor defenseless kid.
Yeah, that's why they spend so much time out at the beach, okay?
Okay, it makes more sense now.
But yeah.
Alrighty. Do we want to do downtime?
Sure.
Yeah.
Who would like to go first?
I have a question before I do downtime. What's our infamy?
Good
I can't
question. Good
get it to pull up.
question. We are on. I need to pull up the sheet. Oh, your infamy is 1, and that means I need to start rolling for it. But that means I need to pull up the book, and that's sort of cringe. Give me. Oh
Sounds
shit! Do I
like a
still have
lot
the?
of work if you ask me.
I'm not sure. I actually need to re-download the book because I broke my computer in the time since we last played.
Many things
Mm,
have gone wrong and right in the time since we last
Look, I
played.
spilled
yeah.
water on it, but in my defense, I was under anesthetic, so it
Fair.
happens.
That's wild. Are you okay?
I'm okay, thank you.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool.
um, yes. Okay, I'll do your infamy after this session.
Okay.
That's
I
Um,
was
extremely
going to
fair.
do something that can reduce infamy if possible, but that's community
you can
service, right?
reduce fate, but not infamy.
Okay.
So, do you have fate right? You do have fate. Oh, you have 1 fate and a lot of infamy. So I need the
Oh,
book for the
okay.
fate, but you can do shit for infamy right now for community service.
Okay. That's what I was trying to figure
Well,
out. I know one of them was bad, and I wanted to get rid of some of it, so that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I figured part of that community service could be helping clean up after the party.
Yeah, that's nice. You know, there's a lot of confetti, a lot of discarded plates. It's a bit of a mess. There's a
Can I
lot of
use greater
mushrooms too.
telekinesis like a leaf blower?
Yeah. Incredible.
Because if I can use greater telekinesis like a leaf blower, I'm going to have a lot of fun cleaning up this confetti.
yeah, I can help actually with that too.
All right, so do you both want to do some sort of roll to reduce your infamy?
Yeah, what
Yeah.
do we need
What
to roll
kind of
for
role
that?
do we do for that?
It is up to you. What sort of roll do you think this is?
Um,
Uh,
I would say maybe Helen, maybe I would take focus for you since you're using magic in some way to help. And Harry, maybe it would be focus if you're doing magic stuff, or maybe consort if you're like talking with people as you do it, or finesse if you're like using very fine applications of something.
I'm okay with using focus for mine. Since I'm using it like
I
a
think
leaf
I'll use.
blower, and I'm also going to attempt to entertain whoever is watching because confetti in a leaf blower is highly entertaining.
Yeah. Um.
Harry, what are you thinking?
Yeah. Do you think Rose would be willing to help? Because I'll use consort. But if Rose is helping too, then I get another dice for consort.
Heck yeah. So Rose
Hell
comes out
yeah.
with you. She
Okay.
brought a rake. Um,
Hell yeah.
Anybody got a
she has
trash
magic
bag
Okay, I
that
got a.
or a
she
compost
likes to
pile?
do things the simple way sometimes.
Yeah, she does. So
What
I
kind
have a
of
5.
what kind of magic was Rose again?
Rose is a green. She has like vine catchers up her arms that she can make into actual vines. You got a five for consort?
Yeah.
Nice. Helen, what'd you get? All right, so between your two rolls, we're going to take off four infamy. Woo! That's a lot of infamy.
Hell yeah. That is a
And
lot of
that's
Woot woot.
one
infamy.
downtime action from each of you.
Uh-huh.
As we see Helen leaf blowing out of the way, and I imagine you're like using it to make the confetti into like birds and like cool shit.
Oh heck yeah. We're talking like little micro tornadoes. Tons of fun.
Oh,
It's very
hell
fun to
yeah.
watch. And Harry, you're there with your girlfriend, and you're chatting people up, and you're sort of making it a community event of cleaning up, and people are really
Yeah.
vibing with this.
Yeah. Very
Yeah,
much so.
you each have one downtime action remaining. What do you want to do?
I need to talk to the head of Rara Avis, Shiva.
Shiva,
I need a
what do you want to
one-on-one.
say?
So Shiva, I'm doing a research project and I need to talk to someone here who knows the most about witch binding. Who here would know the most about the spell that binds witches?
That's that's a rather specific request, Helen. Might I
Is there
ask
anyone
why
here
you're? I
who's
need
been
to know
bound?
why.
Um,
I trust you, of course, but this is dark matters.
I'm working on a theory and understand it's just a theory, but if magic can be done, it can be undone.
Do you want a way to unbind witches?
I'm not going to say that out loud until I have more than a theory.
I think I understand. I need your binding contract that you will not repeat what I say to anyone else.
I can do a pinky swear. If I break my
No,
promise, you can break my pinky.
I need a contract, Helen. A real Fey contract between the two of us.
Okay. Um, I didn't know you were Fae.
I'm
So,
not Fey, but I would call in one of them to officiate.
yeah, okay. Because
And
honestly, Shiva's
she
the person that Helen trusts the most to be able to get this information from. But at the same point, starting this research project is probably dangerous.
and she takes out a vial of some sort of ink, but it's very red. And she takes your hand and she draws some sigils on it, and she draws some sigils on your own hand, and she holds it out and she says, "Repeat after me. I swear,
I swear,
by the honor of the Fae,
by the honor of the Fae,
of the authority of the two courts,
of the according of the two courts,
and the will of the king,
and the will of the king,
that I will not repeat what is said here."
that I will not repeat what is said here.
And the ink on both your hands glow and intertwine. And it burns. It hurts a lot for a second, before fading away. And you can see it's left a bit of a mark on your upper forearm.
Alrighty then.
Don't break it. It'll
No,
be bad.
thank you. We swore to the king. Are you kidding me?
All right. There is someone on this island, a person. One second. A person who goes by Z, who is a former Red Watch agent. You understand why I can't reveal this information to the greater community. I will point you in their direction, but I would appreciate discretion in this matter.
Since I don't know if saying anything out loud will potentially um, trigger the fact that I'm not allowed to talk about it, I'm just nodding and thumbs upping and okay symbol.
Okay. And Shiva's sort of nods and's like, good luck. I hope you succeed in your endeavors, and I hope you do not hurt anyone else.
Thank you. All
All
right.
right.
I would like to start a research clock for understanding the basics of binding. I'm under the impression that being able to unbind a witch is not going to be a clock that can be done in a season, or, I mean, this is a long-term project. And I've broken it down into parts, and I'm assuming the first part is understanding the basics of how binding works. And then once we understand those basics, we can figure out what the next step would have to be.
Yeah. So I think that sounds like an 8 o'clock. Um, and you're going to talk to Z?
Yes,
Do you want to do a scene with that?
if you're okay with it.
I'm down for it. Harry, are you okay with that?
Yep.
Um, and so you follow the directions to where Shiva told you to go. It's a house a little bit, actually a lot removed from the rest of the settlement. I think it's a long climb. It's on a cliff overlooking the rocky shoals, where the waves slam relentlessly into the island. Um, it's a quiet space. There's a little garden out front.
Quiet,
Um,
except for the waves constantly crashing.
yeah. But it's pretty high up. They're a little muffled at this point. It smells like the sea, but all of Aurora Ava smells like the sea, so that isn't exceptional. Um, and it has bright red shutters. Um, what do you do?
I knock on the door.
You knock and you hear a little bit of scuffle inside. Um, and then a minute passes. Maybe you would knock again.
Knocking
And
again.
then you see, opens the door and you see a tall woman. She has sort of long back black hair and sort of rectangular spectacles and a wide eyed look, and she's like,
Hello.
"Mm,
May, may I come in? Oh, Steph. My name is Hele. Helen. Your name is Z. Okay.
and I actually can't do that much ASL, so I'm just gonna speak for her from now on, but she uses ASL.
Okay, completely understandable. Um, Helen's ASL is shitty at best. So she's going to do her best. Um, but she goes in, and the main thing she's going to say is, I have a question for you. And I understand if you're not going to tell me the answer. But I want you to understand that what I'm doing is hopefully going to help people. Hopefully. What can you tell me about the spell cast to bind witches?
And you see her eyes go wide, and she takes a step away from you, and I'm gonna need a roll for that. You are
All right.
pushing her into uncomfortable territory.
Gee, I thought I wouldn't be. Huh? Um, whoop, darn, push to talk. Okay, what kind of roll is that going to be?
I'm guessing it's going to be some. I think this is sway because you don't know her very well.
Yep, that seems fair to me. Okay, one die of sway. Let's get it on the table. That's better. 4.
4. So that is 2 ticks on your clock. Um, and she looks very alarmed when you say this, and it takes some talking to calm her down. Um, but once you talk to her for a while, she sort of understands. And she expresses that she would like to undo the wrongs of her past. Um, and she sends you home with some sort of handmade schematics with like little written explanations. Her handwriting's sort of messy, so it's hard to decipher.
Mine's not exactly the easiest to read either.
Yeah, but it's a start.
Okay. And I assure her that I will burn whatever she needs me to burn so that no one knows this has to be kept secret and safe. And I understand.
And she seems grateful for that. Cool.
Okay.
Harry, what's your last downtime action?
Uh, uh, I, uh, did I have clocks running? I can't remember.
Uh, let me. There's not a whole ton. We have one for. There are not any actively running for you. There's one for redacted,
Okay.
but not any for you.
What's the one for redacted?
That's redacted intervenes and it ticks off when you do something
Oh,
self-sacrificing.
okay, yeah. Um, are there any ticks on that right now?
There are 2.
Can I get them to go away?
We talked about this. The way you get them to go away is to show redacted um, that you care about yourself and that you're going to put your
So,
well-being above that of others.
yeah, so, I think, can I kill two birds with one stone here and, like, go and just, like, have one of those, like, deep long talks that we used to have? Um, and just, like, hang out and talk about, like, all the things that Harry has to live for now and, like, the things that they care about and the things that are making their life, like, really worthwhile right now. And, like, talking about, like, how much they love the child and how much they love Rose and how much, like, um, they see, like, their life is worth more because, like, they're able to see more of what they can do just, like, by living, and that even, like, if the relationship wasn't a thing anymore, like, they'd still know these things about themselves. And so just, like, sitting down and having, like, a really long, deep, heart-to-heart conversation about how much they love their girlfriend and their child.
Yeah, I feel like this starts off as watching an episode of Blue Moon Battle Ninjas, and then
Yeah, of course.
at some point you start talking during the episode, and then you pause it and you keep talking, um, and you talk about that, and I think Redacted talks about all the people they met at the game store, and how they're really
Mhm.
happy to have this community of people that support them and that they're able to support. Um, yeah, and so I think I'm going to decrease that clock by a tick. Yay. And I believe, is that the end of our episode?
That feels like the end of our episode to me. I had
Yeah,
someone
to
ask
me.
in the chat, and I wanted to comment on it real quickly, that we are doing a beta for Children of Midnight Coven, and the link for the quick start for that is in the chat.
Oh, it's beautiful. Thank you, Rowan. Is there any other housekeeping things we should?
The
Next week,
backlog of
hopefully.
episodes is posted or will be posted?
It will be posted because we had some
Okay,
fun
that's
with the
fine.
internet today.
Woo!
Oh, joy.
I also think there are episodes up on Balsamic Moon, their
No, they're
channel.
gone.
Oh, damn! Wow, cool.
There's at
Yeah.
least one, the last episode, from that we did on my channel, Rowan Reports on YouTube. And then the others will be
Okay.
up and archived before I go to bed tonight, no matter how late that ends
Okay.
up being.
Oh, good luck, babe.
Thanks.
For
Get
yourself.
take care of yourself. Get some sleep, okay? It can wait.
Uh-huh. Are we doing XP for this one? Or
Oh shit. Yeah, XP. Um, what are you guys thinking?
just getting back into the swing of doing XP stuff?
So my push to talk has deleted a bunch of stuff on my character sheet because I was
I love
switching back
that.
and forth. So give me a minute.
Okay, we can do a
That's
XP off
fine.
camera
That's
today. Why
fine.
don't we do that?
Might be good.
All
Okay.
right. Thank you everyone
Undo
for tuning
that.
in.
Undo.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much. Hopefully this, you know, hopefully we're getting used to things again. Sleep well, take care of yourselves, the whole shebang.
Drink water, eat
Drink
food if
water,
you
eat
Drink
can.
food,
water. Eat food. Take care of yourself.
Take care
Love
of
each
do a little
other.
yourself.
arson for fun.
Do a
Larson
little
is
arson as a treat.
yeah.
Um,
Be gay. Do crime.
Be gay, do
Whatever.
ACAB.
crime.
Uh,
All right. Y'all have a good rest of your night, and we will end.
Litigators.
Bye.